Welcome, I'm Deacon Roy. This Sunday's Good News has 3 separate parts. The first part is the healing of Peter's mother-in-law. Then the healing of multitudes of people at Peter's house. Then spending time alone with his Heavenly Father. In addition to a short clip from the movie Jesus of Nazareth, I have included 2 short clips from the Gospel of Mark, a web movie. We will finish with the song, Bless the Lord.
Immediately, when they had come out of the synagogue, they came into the house of Simon and Andrew with James and John. Now Simon's wife's mother lay sick with a fever, and immediately they told him about her. He came and took her by the hand and raised her up. The fever left her, and she served them. They brought to him all who were sick, and those who were possessed by demons. All the city was gathered together at the door.
My house will not hold any more people! Please! Please! My father is ill. I want the last one to cure him! Stop! Lift him up! Help me out! I can't get out! I want to see him! Come on, open the wall! There's no other way! It's here, next to me. There are too many already. Keep back, keep back. There's no more room.
He healed many who were sick with various diseases, and cast out many demons. Early in the morning, while it was still dark, he rose up and went out, and departed into a deserted place, and prayed there. Simon and those who were with him followed after him, and they found him and told him, "Everyone is looking for you." He said to them, "Let's go elsewhere into the next towns, that I may preach there also, because I came out for this reason." He went into their synagogues throughout all Galilee, preaching and casting out demons.
There were no flies on Jesus. He had just spent most of the morning and afternoon in the synagogue, teaching and casting out of an evil spirit. Then he came to Peter's house and was told Peter's mother-in-law was sick. And being there were no flies on Jesus, he realized that the cook was sick. And if the cook stayed sick, there would be no food. So he took care of that problem right away, and he healed her. This was one of the 3 keys to Jesus' daily life in today's gospel. The first key I'll call the productive key. By productive, I mean Jesus was doing what the Father wanted him to do, doing the daily works of the Father. He was introducing God's people into the reign of God, demonstrating the power and love of the Father with his curing and freeing of God's people. His taking away of the fever of Peter's mother-in-law really was not about the self-interested need of food. It was demonstrating the compassion of God and allowing her to be productive in one of the roles of her life. We all have many roles and responsibility with others. Sometimes is paid employment. Is also many other things. For the first 30 or so years of Jesus' life, the Father had him doing other things, other than his active mission. After the mother-in-law was made well, Jesus was inundated at Peter's house with the crowds. Remember that in the movie? That was his public work of God. At times he had very little privacy, but he never seemed to consider the crowds a nuisance. His main concern was to make them right with God. Rising very early before dawn, he left and went out to a deserted place where he prayed. That is the second key. Jesus' private life with his Heavenly Father. He drew energy and direction from that time. And he encouraged his disciples to do the same. When you pray, go to your inner room, close the door, and pray to your Father in secret. His main concern for us in prayer is not to know the right word, but to know the right person, God. Even the Our Father, which Jesus gave to his disciples at their request, because they wanted something concrete to pray, was not so much the right words to say, but reminding them of the attitudes and actions that were consistent with being children of God. Now Simon and those with him, finding Jesus at prayer in a deserted place, leads to the third key of his ministry. Jesus' disciples. He told them, "Let us go on to the nearby villages, that I may preach there also." Jesus was not a one-man band. He was a person who was one with his band, his disciples. He was one in genuine relationship with them and shared his mission with them. Although he was obviously more in tune with doing the Father's will than they were at that point, he knew their potential. Jesus knows our potential. The most important aspect of the reign of God is continuous growth in knowing God and being made to be like God. Simply said, there are three keys in today's gospel for Jesus and for us, is to do the daily works of God, to spend time with God, and to be part of the people of God. Those allow us full participation in the reign of God. Today's gospel was Mark's showing a day in the life of Jesus. We will finish this session with a song that emphasizes the starting and keeping a day in the presence of God. The song is known as "Bless the Lord."
Bless the Lord, oh my soul, oh my soul, worship his holy name, sing like never before, oh my soul, I'll worship your holy name. The sun comes up, it's a new day dawning. It's time to sing your song.